Joining us now is a cattleman from northwest Iowa, Greg Woods. Greg, as we were talking on the way out, looks a little different than back home in northwest Iowa, doesn't it?
It sure does, Kevin. More than a little. It's interesting country, never been down here before. It's very intriguing to me to see a different operation, and it's definitely different than northwest Iowa.
I've got a few questions for you, but before we go any further, I want to give people just a closer look at your operation back home in Iowa. And Greg and his family were actually regional winners of the Environmental Stewardship Award back in 2013. So let's take a look at how they care for their place.
The Wood family, Greg and Lola, as well as their son Chris, have raised cattle in 8 different states. But the Woods have always felt a special attachment to their home state of Iowa. So they moved back in 1996 to start BitterSweet Acres, a purebred Angus seed stock and commercial hay operation.
Both Lola and I grew up here, been married for 43 years, and this is where we started and we came back.
Growing up all over the country, we've run into a lot of different practices of taking care of the ground. I enjoy walking out and seeing healthy cows, healthy ground, healthy environment.
BitterSweet Acres is a rare sight in the rolling hills of the Hawkeye State. That's because the Woods made the decision to continue as a forage-based operation, despite increasing pressure to convert to row crops.
We enjoy raising forage. I guess it's just been something that over the years it's a challenge to us to get a little bit more out of that, and it's just been a natural fit because with the way this row crop deal's gotten, it's pretty competitive in this part of the world, and we just decided to pick a little niche instead.
The Wood family works hard to maintain the land and the cattle. They've implemented a grazing plan that provides an optimal balance of grass condition and carrying capacity, while still meeting the herd's nutritional requirements. As a result, weaning weights have increased by 10 to 15% and carrying capacity by 25%.
We raise cattle, but you have to raise grass first to raise these cattle so they can perform for you. The quality of the grass on these pastures has substantially increased just by looking at it, because these hillsides 10-15 years ago weren't growing what we have now.
The Wood family knows the stewardship practices they implement today will ensure BitterSweet Acres is around for many generations to come.
I think without a doubt that's probably one of the biggest things that we're doing, is to have this to be sustainable for Chris to have it and future generations to go on with it and continue to be a profitable, workable deal